I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Fury fam, everybody out there, it's another live edition of GL Shaking the Panel. We are here Wednesday night at 7 p.m. to talk Dolphins football. We have a panel coming up. We have Shake coming up. We're going to pop a little champagne because we did win week 1, and I already gave my recap on that. But I do want to address, before I bring the panel on, before I bring Shake on and all that, I do just want to address the nonsense that I've seen on these message boards and on these web pages and on these Facebook pages and all these other things regarding this debate from fans as to whether we should just be happy and celebrate a win or whether we should be focusing on statistics and pro football focus rankings and focusing in on whether or not a player or players performed up to an optimal level. And both sides of this debate seem kind of skewed, and both sides of this debate seem a little to be employing straw men against the other, right? On the one side, you have the people who are focused on the pro football focus, focused on the statistics, focused on the numbers, focused on whether or not a player performed adequately compared to the field or whether or not they didn't. And even when we win, these people want to make it a habit. They want to make it a focal point of their conversation, not about the win, not about optimism, but about downplaying the game because certain players didn't play up to the level they think they should have. And so they just focus a lot on how, yeah, we won, but we suck. Right? And on the other hand, you have the people who just want to focus on the win, just want to talk about positivity, just want to be optimistic, and don't want to hear anything about stats or about pro football focus or about numbers, or about how somebody looked and actually played compared to the rest of the league at their position. And if we win, then everybody's got to be amazing. The quarterback, the coach, the lines, everybody's got to be amazing. And there's no room for criticism on that side. What I'll say is this, because I've been seeing a lot of nonsense. I've been seeing people say that those pointing out some of the discrepancies, those pointing out some of the problems with certain players' performances in the game in week 1 against the Patriots, only care about stats. They're acting as if even if we won the Super Bowl, these people pointing out the discrepancies, the shortcomings, would still be crying, hey, we won the Super Bowl, but he didn't throw for 300 yards. And no. Stop. That's not what they're saying. And there's other people on the statistics side, the pro football focus side, acting as if the optimists are just blind. They don't care about performance. All they care about is winning, and they're trying to lie. Now, there's some truth to that. I hate to say it. There's some truth to that. They kind of do just want to say it's optimistic no matter what. Like, if you win any game, it's because, two is great, and this guy's great, and that guy's great. There's a little merit to that. It's not a total straw man. But look, the truth is that the people focused on pro football focus, focused on statistics, focused on whether or not we actually performed well and up to our ability, those people are not just obsessed with stats. They're not just focused on numbers, and they're not just crybabies because even though we won, they want us to lose because they have an agenda. No, they want us to win. The reason these people who point out Pro Football Focus numbers and point out stats and point out missed plays, the reason they do that is not because they're trying to not celebrate the win. The reason they do it is because they're concerned that, hey, we might get hyped about beating the Patriots, but these numbers and the way these players performed, according to Pro Football Focus, the way that these players performed is not boding well for how we're going to play against better teams down the road. They are scared that if we get to a point where one of these players who are not performing well needs to step up and take the reins, that given the performance in week 1, they won't be able to do so at an optimal level and help us win the game. That's what they're concerned about. They're not just stat obsessed. They're not just trying to be pessimists. And I will say to those who are just trying to rain on everybody's parade and just be pessimists, stop that too. The optimists, the two-and-ears, they need to stop categorizing the statistic people as, just haters, stat obsessed, not real fans. But on the other hand, those who are looking at the stats need to stop saying that Tua did nothing well at all. He still sucks. Everything sucks. We're the same. Give and take. We're fans, right? We primarily follow this game. We're primarily fans of this game. We primarily watch this game for joy, for fun, right? For hobbies. So if we win the game, you should probably be happy. If you're a fan who has no financial or professional stake in the actual team, and you're just a fan, and you're spending your entire week just trying to tear down a win, you should rethink your fandom. Because what's being a fan about? If you're not having joy even in wins, then maybe you shouldn't even, maybe this is not for you, because this is a fun thing. It's supposed to be fun. On the other hand, those of you who just want to be optimistic, don't look at people pointing out legitimate stats, legitimate rankings websites and ranking entities. Don't point them out and call them haters and call them naysayers and call them stat obsessed just because they're pointing out legitimate issues and legitimate concerns. I will say this about what we saw with Tua Tagovailoa in the game, and I already did my recap video, and that was an instant reaction. It is what it is. I thought Tua made some very nice throws. I thought some of his throws and his comfort level, reading the field, making the decision, getting the ball out, were good. I think he looked improved to me to an extent. I think this offense more so this offense, I think, plays to his strengths and will allow him to get chunk yardage, 20-yard plays, 15, 25-yard plays, while still operating within his comfort zone and what he's good at doing. I think that was on full display on Sunday against the Patriots. And when I say that Tua started to show that perhaps he can ball out, that's what I mean. This offense, this way of playing, this method of where you're going to throw the ball to whom and how far down the field plays into Tua's strengths. I think he's showing us he can ball out in this offense. That being said, I cannot fault, because look, I'm a fan, like I just said. I want to enjoy my week. We won. I want to be optimistic. I liked some of the things I saw. But on the other side, the other hand, you would be remiss and you would be a liar if you didn't think, or you won't say, that some of Tua's decisions and throws towards the end of the game were not only questionable, but they were reminiscent of his other shortcomings from previous years. He threw the ball at the ground on sacks a few times. He nearly threw one of the most costly interceptions we might have ever seen in years when we were up late in the game with plenty of time left in the fourth quarter, in our own territory, and Tua threw basically an interception that was dropped. You can't deny that he did that. Denying that he did that is flat out being inobjective. It's being a liar. It's not being real. And I know people are talking about the only stat I care about is wins and losses. And my champagne just popped on its own. Probably because the energy in this room right now talking to you guys, this is Fury Fam. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. If you like objective, real talk, smash the subscribe button. If you like objective, real talk, smash the like button. If you dig objective, real talk, share this video with your friends. Let's get it popping the way the champagne bottle just popped without me touching it. Let's go. And by the way, the super chat is open. The super thanks is open. If you like the channel, you want to help me out, I'm trying to revamp and keep the branding good, keep the equipment good. Go ahead and donate something. I really appreciate it. Smash the like button, smash the super comment button, and I'll put you on the screen. Let's go. Fury Fam is in effect for this season. Now back to what I was saying. Both sides have a point, right? The side that loves Tua says Tua looks improved. This offense looks like it's going to help Tua. This offense looks like it's going to help Tua get to the next level. It's going to be the first step to him balling out, as I say. They got a point. Some of these throws were 20, 25, 15 yards down the field in Tua's comfort zone with reads he's good at, the types of throws he's good at, and they look great. That Waddle play on fourth down, that was in Tua's comfort zone. It was an absolute dart. It was a great throw. It was a great execution by Waddle. We made it happen. And you can't downplay it because Waddle's the type of guy we got on the team. Second-year player. Hill's the type of guy we got on the team. That's our bread and butter. You can't downplay, oh, it was only because Waddle turned it into yards after the catch, because this, because that. No. That is exactly what we need to do, and Tua's good at it, and that's he will ball out if he's making those throws regularly. On the other hand, Tua looked like he almost threw an interception at a really inopportune time. Tua looked like he threw the ball at the ground a couple times and he almost lost it on a fumble. Those are the and Big O calls them brain farts. Big O dismissed, brain farts. Yeah, but they're like regular brain farts every week. So these guys pointing out PFF and stats and saying keep it real here, they're not the devil. They're not against you. They're not real fans. But they're also not fully, they're saying the truth, but also have a little lighten up. Enjoy the win. Enjoy good play. Lighten up. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. We won. As to other players, yeah, look, Eichenberg didn't play very well. I would say from jump. I've been saying, switch the centers, bring Dieter back in, let him play center, let him play guard. Eichenberg would be the backup tackle, or actually kick Eichenberg out to tackle right now since Austin Jackson is hurt. Let Little be the backup. Jalen Phillips, not bowling out in coverage. We got some concerns. If you don't think we have concerns, you're lying to yourself. If you don't think we got concerns, you're lying to yourself. So we have concerns. It's okay to have concerns. And I'm just shouting out the people in here. Bleezy's in here. Shake's in here. Von Joe's in here. Sweet Jumps is in here. Man, what's up? Scott Jackson, Mountie. We in here. This is Fury Fan, man. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock is Fury Fan, period. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't shown love with the super chat, whatever we got all that stuff now. Bells and whistles, super chats, this, super thanks. Smash it. Show some love. Fury Fam is in the building, man. We in the building, man. But I'm just saying there's merits to both arguments. And all I've been seeing is it's all or nothing. Either you're a hater because you're concerned about the play of certain players, or you're too optimistic and all you care about is supporting Tua. No, both sides have an argument. And tonight when we bring the panel on, and they're coming on soon, and I'm going to bring Greg and Shake in first because you know how we do this, GL shaking the panel. When I bring Greg and Shake on, we're going to discuss these things. And then I'm going to bring the whole panel on. I'm going to put the link in the room. Miss Fins, what's up? Blessing to have you aboard tonight. I'm going to put the link in the panel. I want y'all to jump on, and we're going to talk about this stuff. But I just wanted this was what's been stirring on my mind the last couple of days as I'm watching these debates in message boards and on the Facebook groups and et cetera, et cetera. No one side has a monopoly on what's right, man. There was a good win. They look good. It's promising, but they have work to do. And some things are concerning. Yes. And the season will bear it out. We don't have to argue about it right now. We don't have to argue about it right now. And by the way, right here, Lakers All Day, the first one to donate to this channel. Very big props to you. And it's great to see you again because it's been the off season. We haven't talked. It's great to see you again. Great to see you again. And I will go to that Tua interview and I will listen at 9 minutes. And if anybody else has heard that, I want to listen to that. I remember I watched his interview, but I don't remember exactly what he said at 9 minutes. I will pull that up. I will do that. And I'm curious about, what was said with that. And if you want to hop on, we'll have the panel in a few minutes. You could hop on and tell us what was said. But there is work to do. But here's the thing. The season will bear it out. Now, I am rooting for a win this Sunday, obviously. I'm going to lose. I'm going to be in a bad mood if we lose. I'm rooting for a win, but I did predict in my season predictions, I did predict a loss this Sunday. My point in saying that is the season will bear it out. There will be a time where Tua needs to make the throws like against Tennessee last year, and he either will or he won't. There'll be games where the offense needs to score points and be efficient, drive in and drive out. They either will or they won't. There'll be a time when the line needs to step up in pass protection and run blocking, and they either will or they won't. At the end of the season, it's going to be undeniable, and we're going to be able to look at it and dissect it. There's no sense in arguing about it week one and fixating on it week one. It's going to bear itself out. It's going to bear itself out. So we don't have to be against each other, man. We're all Dolphins fans. Let's root for the Fins. Let's be happy with the win. Let's acknowledge we have some problems. Here's the thing that I will say before I bring the panel on. I'll bring Greg and Shake up in a minute. Here's one thing I will say. It doesn't seem like the team and the coach is satisfied with the performance last week, if that tells you anything. They were happy, but I read that they didn't even celebrate. And you could hear in McDaniel's post-game, he was happy. He's like, yeah, they put me in Gatorade. I don't want them to, this and that. He said, but, you don't want to hear my actual thoughts right now. You just want to celebrate the win. You don't need to hear about my job as a head coach. I'll leave you guys to it. I love that. And the more I hear about McDaniel over and over again, the more I love this dude. He was basically saying, yeah, celebrate it, but I'm already thinking about the next week because we have a lot of stuff to clean up. And all the articles and everything I've read from the media since then has shown that Tua, the team, nobody is hyped up about this win against the Patriots. They themselves are sitting there, even in a win, saying, nah, we could do a lot better than that. Now we got to improve. So that gives some credibility to the stat guys that are obsessed with the Pro Football Focus. It also gives some credibility to the optimists because they know we got a good team, we got a good coach, we got a good quarterback, we're ready to go. They know we got all of that. So we are headed, I think, in a good direction. But this week's going to tell us a lot, man. I don't think the Patriots are great. I do think the Patriots are very good in the trenches, and they're underestimated. I think they're a good running team. I think they're good at defending the run. I think they got a good defense. I think the idea that they flat out suck and we should have dominated them on every, from start to finish, I think that's a little ridiculous. I don't think that's true. But we're going to see a lot with Baltimore, who we crushed last year largely due to the defense, who now wants a revenge game. They're at home. They want to beat us. They want to make Tua beat us with his arm, probably. Let's see how we do. And it'll sort itself out. But the team doesn't seem satisfied. The team seems like they know who wasn't performing well. So there's no need to beat a dead horse. They already know. But there's nothing wrong with pointing it out either. Let's just be sensible with each other. Let's be real with each other about stuff like that. With that said, let's bring in Shake and let's bring in Greg. And let's just get going with LG shaking the panel. I mean, we're out here, man. So, listen. I can't hear you guys. Why can't I hear you guys?
What's up?
There we go. So you got the robe on, Shake. I love it. Now give me a Shake. Tell us your thoughts on what I just said. I need to step away for 1 second. Technical stuff. Just tell us, bro. You're on.
If you see my name today, I am Shake Hefner, baby.
I love it. I love it.
I got my champagne ready, baby.
I love it.
I got my flute.
You got your ready?
Yeah, yeah.
I love that too, bro. Hold on.
But before we pop, I just want to give you my perspective on everything.
Yes.
As far as, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell a Dolphin fan, a grown man, whether to enjoy or be miserable about the win. You're a grown man. I think everybody has a right to be however they want to. On the other hand, I'm gonna I'm gonna celebrate, bro. I'm gonna enjoy it. Now, if you don't want to enjoy it, that's you. Bro. You do you. I'm gonna do me. You know what I mean? There's a story that goes. Uh, I read somewhere that smoking was bad. So guess what? I stopped smoking.
Yes. Sorry, I
I
had
read
that.
somewhere
I'm
that
back.
drinking was bad, right? So guess what? I stopped drinking. I read somewhere that sex was bad, so I stopped reading. And that's what I'm doing. These
You're
negative
funny, man.
reviews. I don't read the comments. I don't read, I don't read the chats. I don't read the message board. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna celebrate. If you don't like it, too bad, bro.
So you're
And
on the camp, Shakes. You're in the camp. You're celebrating. You're a fan. You're happy with the win, but you acknowledge that people have a right to express, things objectively about stats
yeah,
and
I
whatnot.
agree. Look, if you want to be happy about it, be happy. If you want to be skeptical about it, be skeptical about it. But to be honest with you, Dolphin wins to me are like cold days in Florida. They're few in between, and you got to enjoy them while you can.
I like it. I like it, Greg. And then listen, we're about to pop the champagne, but I want to get Greg's thoughts first. Before we do this little ritual we're gonna start annually on this channel. Greg, what's your thoughts on everything?
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to celebrate. Anytime the Dolphins win, I'm going to be through the roof with excitement. But a day after or the day after that, we can then start looking at the film, critiquing, and doing whatnot. But I just say enjoy the win. But you can feel however you want to feel. And anytime we beat the Patriots, man, I'm triple that excited because I live up here and I get to talk so much smack.
Hell
to
yeah.
Patriot fans. And yeah.
Yeah, the Jets lost here, so the Giants won, which is cool with me, but the Jets lost. So this area in North Jersey, New York, is fun too right now because they're mad. They're talking about Joe Flacco can't move an inch. They're calling on the radio station. He can't even move an inch. Whatever they want. They might Mike White back in. It's great. It's a blast. It's a blast here. So I get it. So Shake, listen, this popped on its own because the energy was crazy on this monologue. I don't know, but I got it here, bro. You ready? I mean, you got your robe on like you. Yeah. I wanted to pop it with you, but
No good.
we're going to drink together.
Take the wire off ahead of time because it's gonna pop out.
Yeah, see, I don't know. See, I need you to help me with these things, bro. There you go. Woo! It's a Dolphins win. Shake, this is a tradition on this channel from now on. Greg, look at him. He's got the cup ready, already ready. I'm drinking straight out the bottle, bro. This is Newark. This is what we do.
By the way, water. Just to let the people know out there. I'm not old enough to drink yet.
Yeah, we do not support underage drinking on this channel, so he's drinking water. Shake and I are well within the age, so we're good. But listen, I did want to get your thoughts, though. All stuff aside, I want both your thoughts, and then I'm going to open up the panel, too. I mean, given, I understand some of us are going to celebrate, some of us are going to talk about the stats, et cetera, et cetera. But what did you think of, we're going that way anyway, so feel free to bring other players up, but let's talk about Tua too, because that's what people are talking about. I don't think he should be the focal point right this minute, but they're going to talk about him anyway. What did you think overall, of Tua's performance? Was it much better? Was it the same? Did you see some of the same things you liked, some of the same things you didn't like? Both of you, I'll go, Shake first, then Greg.
Actually, go Greg first. I'm enjoying this champagne.
All right, Greg first. Go ahead.
Right. If you would have asked me Sunday about Tua, I would have been like, he had an A+ game because I was so excited. But after taking some breathers after the game, off the excitement, I would give him a B- as his grade. I think he had a solid game. Nothing too spectacular. Nothing too disappointing. A little bit, you saw some of the old Tua, but you saw some new Tua. And
Yes.
that's what I like. He took some chances with that Waddle throw. I like that. That got me pumped. I was at work. Couldn't really celebrate too much, get hype, but I got a little hype because I'm trying to do my job. But luckily, I got the game at work. So anyway, defense is going to be a top 5 defense. The defense performed great. I just can't wait till Byron Jones gets back. The one thing I'm gonna say is we know Noah Igbenogany. We know he sucks here. We already know it. Me, when I started, he was inactive. I kind of was disappointed. Like I think Noah sucks, but I want Noah to get one game to start to because we didn't play last year. See what he's got. If he sucks, he sucks. We can cut him or whatnot. But man, it was kind of disappointing. I think if he doesn't play this year, he needs to go. Then but yeah, I wish we started Noah because if let's say Xavier Howard or Nick Needham or Byron Jones out for a long period of time, and and the only option is Noah Igbenogany, you're gonna put him out, and then we're gonna see he sucks, and then we're all gonna be, upset about it. So I'd rather we see him before things get worse, because either he balls out, we keep him, that's great, we got a good replacement, or he cuts it. If he doesn't cut it, and we get rid of him.
No, I agree, and I said that from jump when we went over the cuts. I don't know why Noah's on the team, and then people are like, well, maybe he's going to sink or swim in the season, but he was inactive. They're not going with him as the first backup. So what's he doing? And speaking of corners, I want to see Nick Needham back in the slot where he's elite. I don't know that he's elite on the outside. I think yes, if you're looking at just like who's our best D-backs in period, maybe he's up there, but he seems more effective from the slot. I'd like to see him in the slot. If you have a better backup on the outside, put him there. To your point, I'm excited about Byron Jones. Very excited about Byron Jones coming back, because if you plug that hole where we were and you look at our defense as a whole, and understanding we didn't have Byron Jones, I'm excited that he's going to come back and what this defense can be later in the season with him where he belongs, need him in the slot, and that defense. I will say Jalen Phillips, I still think he's going to be an amazing pass rusher. I understand they're trying to break him in as an all-around outside linebacker, which I understand for strategic purposes. But if he's not cutting it against some of these better teams, especially next week when you have a quarterback gets outside the pocket and causes all types of trouble, I would say, well, I know the future is to develop him, but if he's not ready for prime time, 3 downs, save him as a pass rush specialist and get somebody in there who can cover better and who can watch the edge. That's all I'll say about him. And then Tua, dude, I agree with you. Totally agree. There was some good, better Tua, which I kind of said, which was I think the offense caters to him. I think he can do well here. And then there was some Tua where you're like, bro, you almost threw an interception right there. And that flub pass to Hill, which I know the snap was bad, it was still like, and I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm sitting with somebody who's kind of pessimistic on Tua. And that, I was like, well, it was a snap. But they looked right at me. As soon as he flubbed that, they were like, I was like, bro, don't worry. It's like that meme where it's like, but Shake, your thoughts on everything.
I seen TD's all 22 breakdown. There was some plays to be left on the field, but at the end of the day, I don't make the decision to who's the quarterback, who's not the quarterback. So that's that. And anyway, look, I'm just excited that we actually got the win. I could see the team improving. I know that there should be a lot of red flags, but at the end of the day, look, I let the coaches do that shit. I'm just here to celebrate the wins, man. And I think the offense looked well. I'm encouraged about 2 things. Number one, we only had 1 or 2 3 and out, which was good because before we would have multiple 3 and outs on the drive. Number 2, I like the fact that Josh Boyer is down on the field instead of in the booth. So it's going to be a lot easier to relay the message to the defense. So, I mean, at the end of the day, look, if you guys want a breakdown of the all 22, I would recommend you go to TD Fins Talk. He does an excellent breakdown. If you want to see also CB83, he does another breakdown. If you want to see 2 sides of the coin, like I like to call TD and Fins Talk, go to those channels if you want film breakdown analysis. I'm here to celebrate. I'm not really here to break down who should be what and what route should go here and all that bullshit. So that's what I recommend. But, I was encouraged about those 2 things. Josh Boyer being down on the field and the fact that we only went 3 and out 2 times on a hell of a good defense.
Yeah, and I'm agree with that. I think I'm encouraged by those things as well. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and I still think the line was shaky in some respects. And watching TD's breakdown, you see that Eichenberg just did not perform very well. You see that Hunt performed very well. And some other guys that Connor performed very well. Austin Jackson's out, and by the way, I know I saw Poupart put something out today that kind of would scare everybody, like major concerns on the offensive line. And I like Poupart, but I was like, bro, why are you doing this? This is clickbait. Because Armstead is he's practicing. So, I mean, he didn't practice, sorry, but it wasn't because of the injury. It's specifically said on the release today that he didn't practice, but it was veteran rest. So he was only out 2 plays. He returned after that. There's not an immediate concern that he won't play like this week. What I think the concern is going to be is, the sustainability of the health of these offensive linemen. That's why we made the signing we made today, the former Seahawks lineman, to develop him on the practice squad in case one of these guys does go down long term, because we have to pay attention. But right now, I think they should maybe shuffle it up as it is. Eichenberg's natural position is a tackle. He's playing guard. He didn't perform well. And the only reason I'm going on this tangent is kind of the Pro Football Focus stuff that we're alluding to. I was impressed, by the way, you mentioned special team, Shake. I was impressed with Sanders. He was like his old self 2 years ago. If he can do that, that's huge. You have a guy hitting 49 to 52-yard field goals like on a whim, just like line them up and kick them. I mean, your team is much better. People don't want to talk about special teams, but that's a big advantage. If he's back to the way he was, that's a big advantage. But that being said, before we open up to the whole panel, I want to get everybody's thoughts. So the link's coming, guys, if you're in the chat. Shake, I want to ask you to shake it up right now, man. And guy, I'll ask you too, Greg, if you can mute when you're not talking, because there's definitely feedback coming from your. Thank you. So, Shake it up, my brother, man. Let us know what's going on around the league, or whatever you want to do. Last week was kind of just wild. That's how we wound up with the champagne. So you tell me, Shake. What do you want to do?
All right, I'm going to keep it Dolphins this time around, and I'm going to do the past. I'm going to do like Christmas: the past, the present, and the future. So, of course, the past, we're talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick. A couple of weeks ago, I told you about how Tom Brady had the potential to go to Las Vegas. Remember? Mm-hmm. And that Derek Carr was the MFer.
I remember you said that.
Yeah, I heard an interview with Fitzpatrick, and he's still saying that he was the MFer that Brady was talking about, and that he wore it as a badge of honor because as a matter of fact, his wife made him a shirt saying MFer.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah, he was on an interview show saying that he wore that as a badge of honor. But at the end of the day, he said it would kind of hurt his feeling. He would be more offended if he wasn't talking about him than if he was talking about him.
Right. Okay. It's interesting news, bro. That's interesting news for the Shake It Up, man. So I like how, the first time it was like all around the league. Now this time it was like, yo, we're going to keep it Dolphins. And then the last time you were on, it was like, we did what our pregame ritual was this Sunday and whatever else.
Well,
so I dig it. What you got?
If you tailgate, do not put your grill in the car. Apparently, one of the tailgaters.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Saw 6 cars, 11. They counted 11 cars total that got wrecked. One was
because somebody left the grill on, right? Like in the lot, and like 4 cars got torched, like totally, like they were in a fight, like straight up, like they were in an accident. It was nuts.
Yep, and the last story has, of course, this is going to make big news, that Sean Payton is saying that he predicts that he's going to replace Tua Tagovailoa sometime, not through injury, but because Tua's performance, he sees that Teddy Bridgewater eventually is going to take Tua's place. He said this on the Cowherd show.
Bro, Cowherd is an interesting show regardless. I do watch it. Mm-hmm. Who said this? Sean Payton? Who said this?
Sean Payton. He was a guest on the Cowherd show.
And Sean Payton, why is he sticking it? Because already he's involved in this meddling tampering thing that got Steve Ross suspended, which is good because screw Steve Ross. I want him suspended. But he's involved in this, and now he's sticking his head in here saying, well, Tua should be benched. He's probably going to be benched for Teddy Bridgewater. I would ask Mr. Payton if he even watched the preseason. Because if anybody had any chance, in my opinion, to do anything better than Tua, maybe it's Skyler, and that's like a leap. But Teddy B?
Well, he said he coached him, so he knows he's a dynamic quarterback.
See, I don't like this. Sean Payton is getting a little too close for comfort. Now he was meddling. Now he's talking about if I coached him. What is he trying to still get the job? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro, about this Sean Payton nonsense right now. This is crazy. So. When did he say this? Was this today?
Yeah, it's trending all over Twitter. So
what was this based on? That Teddy Bridgewater is going to take two and not due to injury. What did he base this on?
I think it might have been the offensive play.
Just in general, Greg?
Yeah, because we only scored 13 points on offense.
Got you. Okay. All right.
I think that might be what he was alluring to.
So, and what we're seeing is that it's not just these content creators on YouTube, but NFL world and football world in general is a little concerned about our offensive output and the quarterback play, which is just something to keep in mind. That's interesting. Tell
me if you can hear this.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll see two in Miami.
I could hear it.
I think at some point, and they played well yesterday with Tua, but Teddy Bridgewater, I've had before. He's an outstanding player, and I think that's one of the unique things this year. I counted 8 teams where I believe we're going to see multiple quarterbacks play, not relative to injury, but just a controversy, if you will. I think at some point we'll see.
So
I understand it, but it's just kind of crazy to me. I mean, after one game, I don't know that Teddy B's the answer anyway, but just interesting, though. Interesting point. And by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't liked yet, like the video, share the video, smash the super thanks, smash the super comments. Let's get this rolling. Let's get the panel started. Alex is coming on. Mounty's coming on. I'm going to go to Alex first. Welcome to the panel. How you feeling? What's up? What's on your minds? Talk to us, brother.
Hey, what's going on? Well, what's up, Shake?
That's my boy's twin, so don't confuse us. It's my boy's twin. That's Alexander.
Yeah, everybody says that me and Shake are twins. You know,
Yo,
when
that's
it comes
funny.
to the voice.
That's funny. I can see it.
It's nice to have you up here, man.
It's good to see you again, guys. Larry, thanks for having me on, man. This is my first time ever being on the show.
That's awesome.
Mounty, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, panel members?
And Greg and everybody on here. But I'm feeling good about the win on Sunday. You know, now I give Tua's performance on Sunday a B+.
Okay.
And I get it. There were some things here and there that he left on the field and that he can improve on. But a lot of people are out here running him off, after week one, ready to get rid of him, and I don't think that's fair. After 1 week,
Yeah,
a victory is a victory. It was a convincing victory on Sunday against a division opponent, and we proved that again that we are better than Patriots. We have surpassed the Patriots in a way. Now the next step is Buffalo.
Yes,
we have to. Buffalo's the next one on our list, and I think we are going to win Sunday as well. Go 2-0 against Buffalo. All you have to do is zero blitz Lamar's ass all day, and then you turn him into a passer. You win 90% of the time. That's just my opinion. But
yeah,
I'm sticking to it.
No, but you know what, and I agree with it. I think actually we saw against Buffalo a couple times where we dialed up the pressure. We did quite well against them, and if we continue to dial up the pressure, as long as the offense can match it, because they're going to sneak a couple big plays with us selling out. As long as our offense can match it, we got a chance against them. It's the next step, whether it's this year or whether it's future years. That is who we're kind of chasing, and that's we're kind of 1B in the AFC East right now. They're 1A.
Yes.
Let's see what we could do, man. So I appreciate that, Alex. Stick with us too, and I'm going to go to Mounty, man. Mounty, what's your opinion? What's your thoughts on the controversies, on the game, on everything we said? I mean, what's on your mind, my brother?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'll give him a C+, and the reason I give him a C+ is because those potential interceptions. Now, I'm still having a problem with his decision making, his head work. I don't really have a problem with his ability to throw the football, but it's just his decision making. I don't know, after seeing the all 22, I mean, that definitely puts a different perspective in your mind when you see what he's seeing, what he should see. And he's not. I mean, we left a lot of points, a lot of yards on the board to me, on the field to me, because me personally, I don't need Tua to throw for 300 yards plus a game. I want him to throw for touchdowns. He can throw for 250, 3 touchdowns. Touchdowns get you wins. They equal points. Yards, I could give a shit about. If he throws 250, 260, 3 touchdowns, I'm good. That's 21 points from him alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the line play has to definitely improve because if you look at it, a lot of the runs that we possibly had were kind of like traps and sweeps to the outside because we couldn't really run up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I will say, I don't really think we have the line that Mike McDaniels needs right now completely because Eichenberg, he's playing out of position. You got Connor is playing out of position. So we have some guys that are playing out of position. They're doing okay, but they have to learn those different positions now on the fly.
Right.
So, when if Mike McDaniels can get some guys that are natural to their position, I think this running game will drastically improve.
I can see that.
I mean, look, and then you get the people because I said, I can't help but being a Dolphins fan. I just can't help it. Just to think, what would Skylar Thompson look like with all the ones? I just can't. It's eating me alive, bro. It's eating me alive.
I really don't know. We really don't know.
That is true. Gary, can I piggyback off that real quick, if you don't mind, please, sir? About the Skylar thing.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I understand that we're never going to get to see Skylar at the one. But it would be a travesty, honestly, to put him in right away. In my opinion, the kid still needs time to develop. He needs time, and he's still raw. Like it's good. I love. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Larry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying. I was going to say, I agree, and I think Skylar. The reason we even kept him on the roster as a third stringer is that if Tua does not, in fact, work out the end of this year, or if he's teetering, there's going to be a legitimate quarterback competition next year. Assuming Ross and management and Greer stay on board and they want to keep McDaniel, I think, like to Mounty's point, there's some line pieces McDaniel may need if we're going to stick with him. But maybe even the quarterback thing, I agree. But I understand Mounty's point is like, I just want to see him in a real game. But I understand your point, like he's not there yet. I think he's there for maybe next year to compete, maybe be a developmental piece, maybe. And I don't think he's going to get out there right now. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead, Monty. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just curious. That's all, because the guy played a hell of a preseason, and I mean, to be honestly, he outplayed Tua in the preseason. So, and then in the Tampa Bay game, see, people will go on to create this narrative. Well, Skylar was playing against backups. Well, I'm going to tell you what, he played the whole Tampa Bay game, So he might have been playing against some number one, some number twos, and number threes. So look, they can kill that narrative. I'm telling you that right now. That kid is no joke, and he just possesses more of a feel for the game than Tua. To me, he goes through his progressions. His throws are just money. This guy is rolling to the left, throwing back to the right, 50 yards in the air on the run to ease Eric Ezukama. Dude, Tua could only dream of doing some shit like that.
You want to know why? You want to know why the difference is that though? Because Skylar looks like a gunslinger, right there. And there were times where he just say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up. Somebody's going to be out there. That's how I feel he was in the preseason. I love what I saw from the kid. Don't get me wrong, I love it. And I'm not saying anything negative about him, but I just feel it's just like, you know what? That meme when they said, oh, F it, someone's down there, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up. That's how I feel that's what it was in the preseason. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up there. Someone's got to be down there. But I'm sure he saw Ezukama running that 7 route to the corner.
That's he put it right on him.
I'm not
He
saying
put
he
it right
didn't.
on
No,
between two defenders too. And had he not been interfered with, that would have been a catch. That was sensational. And then he threw that shallow four route to Ezukama on the far side of the field, over the linebacker, between the safety. The shit that Tua struggles with.
I could see it now. Greg, I want to let Greg hop in because he was going to hop in before. Greg, what's on your mind, bro?
I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead, man.
The Lakers O'Day super chat, the 9-minute mark thing. I took a look at it before I came on. He was talking about how like he's short or something like that, small guy. He can't see very well and whatnot. So he was saying basically, if I can't see you, I'm not going to throw the ball. You got to get to me so I can throw you the ball. That's basically what he was going on about. So maybe that's why his decision making is a little bit wacky sometimes. Like on the film, you see a wide open guy and Tua hits the guy underneath.
So he said straight up, "I'm small."
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
did.
remember the entire conversation.
And
but
he did say that. He did say that.
And
You know what he did say
then Twitter went crazy on that, saying,
Okay, so
he needs to be replaced right away.
All right, so here's my thoughts on that. My thoughts on that are, I admire him and respect him for being honest and being real. I'm not saying in any way he should be replaced for saying some truthful stuff, but he's basically telling us what some people are skeptical about from jump, which is that he's not the biggest dude, and maybe it does impact his ability to do the job the way we want him to do. And I'm not saying that to be, pessimistic or to be overly critical. I'm just saying that's an interesting thing. Thank you, by the way, Lakers, for drawing that to our attention tonight, and Greg for giving us what was actually said, because I think it makes me respect Tua even more, but then it does give us some pause, doesn't it? Even the dude himself is saying there's some issues with my skill set, my physical, literal attributes, where I can't see certain things. I mean, if that's not fixable. So what are your thoughts on that, guys?
But wasn't Drew Brees not the tallest guy?
Russell Wilson's not tall.
Is that the tallest guy? Yeah, I mean, Drew Brees and Russell Wilson and Tua Tagovailoa are all the same size at 6 foot. Doug Flutie was 5'10", 5'11". There were times where he had to jump up and just. There were times where I saw he had to jump up just to look for a guy,
So
jump
here's
across
the thing.
the line.
So
That's a great point. Because I'm saying to me, and real quick, Matthew, and you'll be next. That says to me that like you guys, like I'm being objective, so I'm going back and forth with points. I'm hearing you out. So first I was like, okay, he's being honest. You can't fix it, but you guys are saying no. There's other guys that could do it. So if he's saying he can't do it, maybe that is questionable. Because if other guys can, why can't he? Mounty, go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna ask a question, or two questions actually, to the panel. Mm-hmm. Now, hypothetically, if say for example we offer Tua in a trade, who could he start over right now? Who would trade for him, and what would his trade value be? That's question number one. Question number two: if we outright cut him, who would sign him to be their starter?
All right.
Detroit.
All right. I'll give it to the whole panel. We'll start. Man, who wants to start? And I'll go clockwise.
I'll go Detroit.
Right. Detroit would take him. I could see Goff is not good, bro.
Detroit would get Detroit would give up a draft pick for him.
Oh yeah,
I could see it
definitely.
Okay.
What round?
I think you get a third round for him.
That I could see it. All right, Shake. What do you think?
I'm gonna say the San Diego Chargers. You'll start with just playing. I could say the Giants.
I was about to say, are you serious?
You about to start an epic war up in here. That's why
I'm about to say, Shake, you need to go see your doctor.
Shake crazy. That's what Shake does, man. He has his finger on the pulse. That's why he has all those crazy analogies, man.
I'm over 40. I do need to see my doctor because I think I have to take my prostate. But other than that, no, actually, I could see the Giants because, Brian
Daboll.
Yeah.
What do you think the Giants would give up for him?
I say a second rounder.
Oh.
But we got to throw in a fifth round draft pick or a fourth round draft pick
to get a second.
Yeah.
I could see the
So
Giants.
we
being,
have we basically have to pay them to take him.
No, but we could get instead of getting a third, I'd rather give up the 5th or the 4th round draft pick and get a second. So we'll have 2 seconds, a first, and 2 thirds, or at 2 thirds for the next year's draft.
I could. You guys are coming up with some teams that Mounty's first question I still think is a good question, but you guys had some 2 teams that are like, maybe they would. Second is a lot, but I could see them both giving up a third to take a flyer because both their quarterbacks are not. I think he's better than both of them, which kind of puts in perspective. This is what Mounty's trying to do though, is put in perspective where he's at. But right now you're still putting him at like late 20s, like 27, 28 in the league with these cats. Which I'm not saying, okay, so don't attack. I'm just saying Mounty's point, yeah, it's not making him 33, but it's not making him 15 either. So we're showing us where we're at. Greg, what do you think any team would trade?
Seattle would trade for him, and we could probably get a.
That's a good point, Greg. That's good.
Hey, by the way, Mark Sims, I know if he's saying and Monty Finn said this too, if he wanted to coach Tua, he would be in Miami. I don't think he didn't. Number one, I think he wanted to stay in New York, and number two, he knows Mr. Magoo, and he's like, I don't want to work for that guy.
I agree with that.
So I think that's
Stephen Ross
going to come here.
Yeah, Stephen Ross he's shown himself to be a clown to the highest level.
Hey, Larry, you want me to stir up?
Huh?
Yeah. You want me to stir up the panel a little bit? You want me to stir up the panel a little bit?
Yeah. In 1 second, because I want to just say that, Greg, you very much impressed me, sir. That was a great pick, and I actually think you're right because like that type of quarterback on that team. Gino, I'm rooting for Gino because just as hate that the Jets just are ridiculous and he got knocked out with her. But I was rooting for him. But legitimately put Tua on that squad right now and like with that home crowd and the other weapons and Greg, very impressive, sir. This is why your name is on the damn marquee of this show. But Alex, stir up the panel. Go for it.
So I said in other panels because I got this from Big O. All right, and I agree with Big O when he said this. Shake. Yeah. Shake. I knew Shake was going to say something.
Big O,
but
man.
Big O said that he would take Tua over Herbert regardless of it, because Tua is a better quarterback, but Herbert is the better talent. And I kind of agree. And I agree.
What does that mean?
I agree with Big O.
I don't even. Well, why? Why do you agree? Because we're all going to jump. Why do you agree with him on that?
Because
what does it even mean?
Everybody wants the 6'5", 200. Okay, so Herbert has talent, has a lot of talent, and everybody's infatuated with him because he's 6'5", 200-something pounds, and he can make the big arm throws that Tua can. Okay, but intangibles, Tua is a better quarterback with intangibles. Because I think that Tua is better at reading defenses than Herbert is, but Herbert can make better throws than what Tua can.
Look, at the end of the day,
Herbert has better talent.
Okay, so
Herbert has better talent than Tua does.
Let me interject, and then I'll give it to the whole panel. You're all going to get to respond. And I know Alex is just trying to start conversation. He agrees with it, but we're going to talk. But bro, this is where Big O loses me with his Tua fandom, because it's like I'm not saying he's wrong or right. What I'm saying is this. What evidence is he speaking about? Like, and this is actually what goes to the crux of why some people are down on Tua, because Tua, as advertised, was exactly what Big O is saying. The idea was Herbert has raw talent, raw physical traits, but Tua is the polished, finished quarterback talent who makes better reads, who gets the ball where it needs to go, and is extra super accurate and doesn't make as many mistakes. But what people are down on Tua about is exactly that. He hasn't shown those traits, that he always makes the right read, that he's accurate, that he gets the ball exactly where it needs to be, that he makes minimal mistakes. He's not there, so I'm kind of curious. I understand the terminology. He's the better talent, he's the better quarterback, but I don't see any evidence to show me that Herbert's talent is lesser than Tua's quarterback ability. Tua does not look polished, nor does Herbert, but Herbert with the talent and their quarterback play as far as reads and finding the open man, all that seems about even, but Herbert's talent's better, so Herbert seems to be balling out much more. And if you could take me in hindsight, I'm not trying to start a controversy and hate Tua, but I think a lot of us, if you're being honest, if you take me in hindsight and put Herbert on this team right now, man, I would do it in 2 seconds. That's just me. I understand Big O's point, but I don't see the proof of why he's saying that. I don't see Tua making better reads than Herbert, Tua doing better things than Herbert. I don't see that. Maybe in the future, definitely as advertised, but not in actual reality. That's just me. Mountie, go, and then I'll get into Shake and then Greg.
Well, from what I recall, Justin Herbert played in a pro-style offense in Oregon. Okay, we already see how Tua fares in a pro-style offense, as when we had Chan Gailey. Hence the reason why we had 2 playbooks. The offense was totally different when Fitz was in, and it was totally different when Tua was in. We saw when we played Buffalo last year, and surely Tennessee. When Tennessee made us go out of that RPO to a pro-style offense, Tua struggles like hell. He struggles. Guys that come from a pro-style offense just assimilate better into the league, especially as a quarterback. Tua has, when he played with Alabama with Steve Sarkisian, it was a lot of run after the catch type stuff. That's hence the reason why Mike McDaniels is trying to incorporate a lot of the stuff he did in college, because strictly pro style, he struggles with it.
Right.
So that's my thoughts.
Okay, Shake.
Well, first of all, the only time I listen to the Big O is when he has on the insiders. Other than that, I'd rather watch the instruction manual for DirecTV.
And I agree, by the way. I watch him for the insiders, and I actually like watching Poupart and who's the other dude? Shad. Just go at him and him go at them. That's my favorite part of anything he puts out. And I will search Big O Joe Shad, Big O Alan Poupart just to see that, and that's it. Because otherwise, sometimes I'm like, I agree with him sometimes, and then I'm like, Big O, what are you saying? So I agree. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, whenever he goes on his solo rants, I feel like I'm sniffing paint. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But look, at the end of the day, look, it sucks for Justin Herbert when you put up 40 points and your defense gives up 50. We've seen that with Marino. Time in and time out. If you have the 31st and 32nd ranked defense, especially scoring-wise, you're fucking dead in the water, bro. You can put up all the points you want, but if your defense is giving up more, guess what? You're going to fucking lose.
Right.
So at the end of the day...
That's the reason...
Go ahead, Monty.
No, I was just going to add to your point. That's the reason Justin Herbert didn't make the playoffs last year. Because I tell you what, had they had just a little bit of defense, they would have been in the playoffs.
I don't know about all that, Mountie. I don't know about all that.
They were one game. They were one game out, dude.
Second-ranked defense, bro.
I'll explain it.
They were one game out.
All right. So let Alex say what he's saying.
Yeah. Mountie. I get you. I understand the part about the defense. You're absolutely right about the defense. The defense was not there. But Justin Herbert, when he had a chance to beat the lowly Houston Texans to get into the playoffs, the man threw 2 picks against Houston, and one of them was actually towards the end of the game that he had a chance to win the game for the Chargers. He threw an absolute duck in the final minute of the game. So Herbert and Tua are on the same level as far as this. Herbert and Tua have both choked in big games.
Right,
so he even choked in the Raiders game.
Hey, Larry.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let me say something real quick, Larry.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up, Shake?
I just want on Friday nights I host a wine spaces about wine on Twitter. I just want to introduce my co-host Bon Jovi there on the Bottom, whenever you get to him, I just wanted to introduce him. That's all.
I'll be honest with you, because I was gonna go in order like with Bleezy and shit first, but because Von Joe was just kicking it so like dapper and so swaggy with the damn glass in front to match what we're doing, I was gonna go to him anyway. So Shake, our minds think alike, and Von Joe's mind thinks alike. I'm about to go to him right this minute and get his thoughts. And bro, I apologize to all you guys who just came on. I didn't see you the way the thing is situated, so sorry it took me a while. But Von, what's up, bro?
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Von, your mic, bro.
Your mic is messed up, bro.
Yeah, your mic.
Yeah, I would switch up the mic or like re-enter because the mic is definitely distorted. No. Yo, that's usually digital distortion. So if you like play with the wire or you just exit and enter again, it might be better.
They Vaughn sound like a cartoon character.
Vaughn out here just.
Hey, listen. Hey, Larry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. Because listen, Tua is no competition to Justin Herbert at all.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
None.
Thank you.
No way. Tua. I'm gonna tell you something. Tua. Every time I see Tua play, I wish he was still on the sideline holding the clipboard and Fitz was playing.
All right.
It's so much more that he needs to learn before
want to know
he's
why,
a starter.
though, right?
All right, so hold on. So I hear that.
Also.
I hear that, but hold on. So now I want to go to Lakers because Lakers was chiming in with Mountie. Lakers, what up, yo? Welcome in. Thank you for the super chat. Really, you're the first super chat on this channel, man. Really appreciate that. What's on your mind, bro? What's on your mind, yo?
Go Heat, by the way.
Oh Lord, here we go to Miami Heat.
Go Knicks.
No, not the Knicks. But okay, now I'm going for Monty, man. Listen, bro, he said it, man. And Big O, he don't know what he's talking about. Really, Tua over Justin Herbert. Did y'all see what Justin Herbert did last Sunday?
Big O don't never know what he's talking about.
On average, Justin Herbert is a bad man.
Bro, he's a bad man. And plus, even I'm watching AFC East Roundtable. Even Master at Work said if the Dolphins had Justin Herbert, we would be Super Bowl contenders. Mm-hmm. That's what he just said.
Let's be honest. If we had a quarterback in the top 5, we would be Super Bowl contenders.
I don't know about that.
I'm not trying to be. We would be. Any of the top 5. I think, you know what's funny? Just so you guys all hear, I was talking in a group chat with my boys the other day on Sunday Football, just talking about the NFL in general. And we were talking about Tom Brady. And I was always a Tom Brady hater because I'm obviously a Dolphins fan. But when he left and went to Tampa, and I know his team was stacked, but he won a damn chip, and Belichick looking lost, I just said, we're arguing back and forth because they're like, nah, Brady sucks, this and that. I just said, yo, if Brady was on Miami last week, we would have scored 45 points, and y'all know it. And they didn't, and they stopped talking. And that's just talking about the Dolphins and like a quarterback who can read the field and put the ball where it needs. I'm not knocking Tua. I'm just saying, let's be real. If we had a top 5 quarterback with this squad right now, this defense, these personnel, Bro, we would be contenders with the Chiefs and the Bills. Let's not play. Let's not play.
You need.
Hold on, let Lakers respond. Let Lakers respond, Matt.
But that's like the main, not that main piece, but that's like the caveat. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback is that caveat on top that people, you know what I'm saying, needs to understand that we need an elite quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We don't need this mediocre quarterback because guess what? We had that all, you know what I'm saying? We had that whole.
No, you're right. And so I'll say this, and then just so you guys know the order, so you can answer. I'm gonna go to Mountie. I'm gonna go to Mountie to respond. Then I'm going to Bleezy. Only reason I'm going to Bleezy next is because you do this is gonna go off because I know where he's at. So I want to go Mountie first. Then we're gonna go Bleezy. Then I'm gonna go you do this. So let's just Mountie go. That's the order.
Hey, I'm gonna just say real quick. You know, I was, and I don't really like to go back, but I think had Fitz played the whole season without putting Tua in, we might have had a shot. We might have been Super Bowl contenders. And I know for sure he's not a top 5 quarterback. But with this roster, oh my God, we're putting 40 points on the board. Oh my God, easily. So what I'm saying is that's why we brought playmakers in, because they knew the inadequacies of Tua. So he can't make the big throws, but we can get playmakers around him to do what they do. But the downside to that is that can get expensive. Now you have to have premium players, you have to have Pro Bowlers, guys who can do it all. That is expensive. So I mean, your quarterback is costing you big money.
Right. I hear you on that. So now, and point taken on that. I think that's where some of us are going with that point. Let's go to Bleezy. Bleezy, you up? What's up, my brother?
Hey,
What's up, my
what's
bro?
up, family? What's going on, family?
What I want to know,
Breezy.
Bleez, what I want to know is
West Side, baby.
what did you eat on Sunday and what did you grill, bro? And what did you drink? That's what I want to know, Bleezy. That's what I want to know first.
Well, it's ice cold Heineken's is probably what I was drinking, and I did miss out on the game day. You know, when the game starts, really, what I like old school, I like to have some chips and dip on the table right in front of me. Give me some old school chips and dip, and let me watch the game and get busy.
Yo, me and Bleezy are gonna kick it one day. One day I'm gonna kick it with Bleezy and we're gonna grill because Heineken's are my thing too, bro. Heineken's and chips and dip, that's literally what I start my day off with most barbecues.
Yeah,
so me and you are on that level, bro.
Now, chips and dip is like a staple. I love to have that at kickoff. But check it out, Larry. We've all been kind of talking about it. I think the key to Tua is he coachable? You mentioned it a minute ago. Is what he's doing? Can you know? We talk about a ceiling. Can he be coached up to that ceiling? That's what we're looking for right now.
Yes,
are we not?
Yes.
We're
And what do
looking
you
for
think,
that
Bleez?
ceiling.
What do you think?
Yes,
Bleez?
he can.
I mean, I thought he can. I know players. I know players can be coached up because I saw it happen with my college team, Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin came in and coached up Matt Corral from a mediocre player to a first-round draft pick until he got hurt. And that's actually what I thought was about to happen with Tua. That's why this past game was kind of an eye-opener because I was like, man, Tua, he looks nervous in the pocket again.
That's what I was just going to ask you, Bleez. What did you take from this game in terms of, you know, did you see some improvements in some areas and the same in other areas? Did you
I liked it.
What did you see?
Yeah. No, I liked it, you know, and I thought I actually did not think Tua played that bad. You know, I know he missed. Right. I know he left stuff on the field, but people I think are not giving New England's defense credit. New England had the number 2 defense in the league last year. I know they lost J.C. Jackson and a couple other players, but you know Belichick is going to bring that defense, and I'm sure that didn't make it easy on Tua. You know, so that didn't make him look very good either. But my overall, you know,
and he did it without a running game.
Yeah. You know, it kind of, and we have Baltimore coming up. They're going to have a strong defense too. So it's, you know, it's going to be another test, man. But I'm hyped. I'm pumped.
I agree, Bleez. I'm pumped too, and I 100% agree. And Lakers, I'll get to you right in a second. I 100% agree with you in the sense that I did reference that earlier in the monologue. Was let's not downplay New England so much. They're tough in the trenches. They always will be. Their defense is probably going to be good. This idea that this is like a FBS team against an FCS team type thing, and we should have scored 60 points is BS. All right, we don't even know how good they are, and they're good in the trenches. It doesn't necessarily mean we're terrible in the trenches. They're good in the trenches, and I appreciate that. Lakers, what were you going to say, Lakers? Because I
was going to say that Vonjo is backstage right now. Just to let you know. Vaughn.
I got Vaughn. Okay, he's back. Okay.
And
how do I sound?
You sound
perfect. No, let Lakers finish. We're gonna go in this order now. Let me keep. So Lakers finish.
All right, and then people gotta realize that the Ravens they gonna come for our, you know what I'm saying, with some blood because you know what we did last year, and they gonna try to put 40 points on us, and they're gonna try to blitz our quarterback.
Yeah, but.
All right, so hold on.
Does Lamar scare you as a passer?
No, but he had some good passes last week. He had some good. But before we get into Baltimore, I do just want to give Udis his time because Udis has been patient, and I know he wants to probably talk about too. If he doesn't, just pass. But I'm gonna give it to you, Udis, real quick to respond to everything we've been talking about. Then we'll move on to Vaughn, and then let's move on to Baltimore as a panel. All right, you do this. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Toast to you, my brother.
I cannot believe the conversations that happened the day after the game. It blows my mind. And if anyone tries to say that there aren't people that hate him and will never give him credit for anything, it is the reaction from the day after the game. Because I saw people up here on YouTube talking right after the game, including you, Larry, because you made a video, and I literally agreed with every single point you made in that video. I didn't think I disagreed with one thing. And I saw other people making videos talking about what they thought of the game and what they thought about Tua, and then somehow one day later, all of a sudden, all that changes. Like no one, like everyone had a new memory of what happened during the game. It was just, I mean, it was incredible. This is ridiculous. Someone tried to name me a quarterback that we've had since Dan Marino that had a better week 1 performance than Tua had on Sunday. There isn't one. Ryan Tannehill did not have a better quarterback performance in week 1 of the season than Tua did. Never.
Actually,
no one did. He looked
Patriots
better
with
than anyone we've had. And it wasn't perfect. And it wasn't even great. There was so much.
So you're giving. So we're starting from a very low bar, by the way. Just want to put that out.
Yeah, and I don't know if Fiedler might have had some good, but I will just say this, and we're gonna go
week
okay,
1.
finish. Yes.
We're talking
Go
week
ahead.
1. Look around the league. What happened week 1? Like people forget all of a sudden that week 1 is an extension of the preseason. That things aren't clicking for anyone. That Joe Burrow goes out there and throws 4 picks. These things are constantly happening. And not only that, for the most part, it was a clean game for us. But no one wants to talk about the 2.8 yards per carry we averaged on our run game. No one wants to talk about that we got 0.8 yards before first contact during our run plays. No one wants to talk about that Liam Eichenberg, everyone wants to quote PFF, was a 29. But we're talking about Tua? Are you out of your minds? It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is beyond imaginable. It proves that these people will not give him credit for anything he does. They cannot give him credit for one pass. They cannot give him credit for one game. They can't give him credit for anything because they hate him. It isn't a matter of wanting a better quarterback. They don't like him, the person. That's the issue. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, he could. Yeah, we know he could have been better. But that entire game was not on him. He was the least of our problems.
All right, so I'll respond real quick, and then I'm gonna give it to Vaughn because Vaughn's been waiting. So let's hold on. Just so the record's clear, like I did say I liked what Tua did on the video after, and I still do like it. And in the beginning of the show, I said I liked it, and I did reference Eichenberg being terrible. He said he should be kicked out to tackle. I agree that certain throws Tua made were very good. I think some people were just hyped for the win. Like Greg said, I was just hyped for the win after the game, but just coming to my senses, just looking at it, there was some issues that I wanted to address. I will say this. There are definitely people that just hate Tua, but I think the majority of the people that are just talking about some of his shortcomings in that game are not actually Tua haters. They actually started off saying they're like, yes, he's amazing, and then had to come back to earth when they saw some of the issues. They're like, okay, he's not amazing yet. But I do think on the other side, there's some people that love him no matter what. And even if they can't admit that he had a bad throw, like that almost interception at the end, that missed by Hill. I'm not saying he was bad. I think he was good. I think this offense is gonna. I think he's gonna ball out.
Hold on, but that's the only reasonable to take care of fact. If you don't think he was a good performance in that game, you can't talk. That's it. He was good. He was good,
but he wasn't great. He wasn't great though.
Not great. But there are people saying he sucked. We have people in this chat talking about Skylar Thompson.
Well, Thompson's a good play. He's a prospect.
He was good. Why are we talking about the third string quarterback? He had a good performance.
Hey, that's nothing.
Because he's a part of the Dolphins.
But we're not really talking. I mean, Mouthy just said he'd like to see him with the first team because he's curious how he would execute with such great personnel. That's all. But listen, I'm going to step aside. I'm going to give it to Vaughn because now Vaughn has been waiting patiently. His hand is up, and he was drinking wine. So let Vaughn respond. Hold on. Then we'll get in. Let Vaughn go first, okay? And then let you do this respond to Vaughn because he's by himself in here with this. So we can't just stack up on him and go like 5 people, then you do this talk. Let Vaughn talk. Let you do this respond.
I'm with Vaughn.
Go ahead, Vaughn. And let you do this respond, okay?
So I was at the game live in that hot sweltering heat. And
I want to hear this, bro.
So it was me and Stephen D. I sat next to Stephen D. from Miami Sports Music. And we're watching the game together. And me and Stephen D. literally looked at each other and said, you know what? This is a good game by Tua, but people are not going to be happy. We looked at each other and said, and the way it looked, he looked panicky the whole entire time. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look like he had that swag that, yeah, this is me. I'm going to do this, right? So check that off. So I'm driving home because, when you're watching the game live and people watching it on TV have 2 different perspectives.
Yes.
And pretty much it was confirmed to me when I hopped on a Twitter space with Luis Amador that it's the same. And this is the problem. Yeah, he had a good game. but it's the same Tua that we had from last year. So people saying this is week 1, but from other people's perspective, this is year 3 and week 1, and it's still the same person.
Is that coachable, Von Joe?
Hold on. Again, it's coachable to a degree, but at what point is a quarterback just who they are? So at this point, this could be just who he is. So, and here's where it becomes more concerning, because people saying blame. Hold on, before I even get to the more concerning part, I want to rebuttal the running game part. If nobody fears your quarterback to take the top off, why am I? Because people in the beginning of the year, before the year started, Larry, we heard, nobody will dare play single high safety against us. Nobody's got to dare load the box
because the wideouts.
How many times did you see single high safety all during the game, or bracketed coverage? Because nobody is afraid of Tua taking the top off.
Yeah, and
so they still loaded the box, and they still loaded the box against us, and they still said, "Shut down the running game. You." Number QB1, you beat us. I want to see if you could whoop us.
Bro, good point.
And he did it. Yeah. He did it. The defense did.
So hold on. Here's the other
hold on. Let
him finish, then I'll give you. And then
this is my last point. This is my last point. And this is where it became real concerning. Is during his press conference, where I put everything together. We see him missing wide open receivers. Then in his press conference, this man have the nerves to say, I just don't see them because I am small and I can't see. They're not in my line of vision. So that means you literally have to move his throwing platform so he could see down the field. Because he said, hey, if I can't see them, they have to run into my line of vision, and then maybe I could see them.
I did not.
So I could get the ball to them. He's listened to his press conference today. He literally said that.
Right now. I'm going to look it up right now.
This is literally what he said.
Was it from today or was it from after the...
Today.
He did say
today.
He said that. Lakers pointed it out, and then Greg confirmed the language.
So that worries me. So we say Russell Wilson is small in stature, but we know that Russell Wilson is athletic enough to throw off platform. He has a live enough arm to throw off platform. We've seen Russell Wilson have a guy in his face, and he literally curved the ball around him. Right? So for Tua, when you see him roll out, if he's not rolling out to his particular side, it's difficult for him to throw it off platform. He literally has to reset his base and then launch it.
Get it. I get it. So Bleezy, say your little... Bleezy, by the way, cosign what you're going to cosign, and I'm going to give it to you. Do this.
No, I think he's I think he's spot on. It just comes back to the fact that Tua seems nervous in the pocket, and I think McDaniel's trying to clear lanes for him to throw. And
I agree with that. Man. He was antsy all game. He felt if you look at it, I'm watching it, and Steven looked at me and said, he's getting pressured, man. I'm like, no, Steven, he's really not. I think he's feeling pressured, but he's not. He felt
that's
rushed.
Why,
it looked like he looked rushed.
And I'll say this.
That's why I think.
Am I going to get?
That's why. That's what. But that's why I think McDaniels runs a lot of those bootlegs to get him outside the pocket.
I could see that.
So you can see down the field.
Well, I'll say this too, and then I'll let you do this response
part of that
too.
playbook. Oh, Jesus.
And I'll let him respond. So hold on.
I
will say this too. There is a difference being at the game than being, at home, because I've been more college games, but also Dolphins games when I can get to them, which are quite a bit. There's difference. You could see them on the sidelines. You could see it's different when you're looking at a human being on a field in front of you as opposed to TV. They look almost larger than life. It's almost like cinematic. When you see them in person, you see certain nonverbal communications that humans pick up on that you don't see on TV. So I appreciate that perspective on Joe a lot. Now I'm gonna give it to you, do this, because he's been patient and he's an articulate dude who has a point that's contrary. So let's let him talk, and then we'll respond.
The other point I wanted to make.
Shake after him.
Forgot in that little rant was that if you were gonna say he did not look better than last year, you're also a hater. 100%, he looked better than last year. There is zero room for interpretation. He looked confident all day, and the only time he didn't look confident and antsy was when he was in the grasp of someone, which we know is a concern with him, and we know is a critique of him that he needs to get better at. Fine. But acting like him being in the grasp of someone is what he is constantly. Is just wrong. He looks super decisive in the pocket. He looks super confident in the pocket. He was making great decisions for the most part until he had a lot of pressure either in his face or he was in the actual grasp of someone trying to make those big plays. That that issue goes back to Alabama. He was like that. So he 100% looks better. I don't think he has that game last year. I just don't think that's true. I mean, from the first play of the game, you have Austin Jackson getting blown up, and we have, whether the ball got
he's not even good.
Tipped. We don't know. Yeah, he's not good, and Liam Eichenberg's not good, and that's 2/5 of our line that's constantly getting blown up.
But
that's an issue.
I think he had performances like that last year. He had performances like that where he threw good, efficient passes, 1 touchdown, and then some questionable decisions. He had games like that last year, didn't he?
270.
Yes, it's the same guy.
No, he's not the same guy. He's clearly
so he
better.
did throw for more yards, right? I think he is better, by the way.
If you look at how he's going through his progressions, if you look at how he's going through his reads, how he's reading the defense pre-snap, and his confidence in the pocket when he takes the snap, he is clearly better. Clearly, I mean, it is night and day how much better he looks from that. Where he looks,
I think it's evening and dawn. I think it's more evening and dawn. Like there's a little bit.
I'll say Dustin morning.
When he gets under pressure is when you see these same issues coming in, where he's trying to make a big play happen because he doesn't want to, take the sack or
valid, very valid.
It's got a little twitch about it.
Come in.
Hold on. All right. Hold on.
Just to be clear, you can give maybe 2 or 3 missed passes on him. All the other ones are on the offensive line, and if you watch the tape, that's 100% true. You can watch the missed assignments. You can watch how they try to block it up, and you can see exactly why they're wrong and why the pressure got to him before he even finished the play action. 2 to 3 you can put on Tua.
Okay, I will say this. He definitely looked better in some instances. He definitely looked the same in some instances. It is what it is. I already forgot my other point, so whatever. But, Shake, go ahead. What were you going to say?
The only thing I'm gonna have to rebut when you do this, look, like I said, I stated in the beginning, how you interpret the film and how you judge things, I leave that to your discretion. And at the end of the day, who starts and who benches, that's above my pay grade. But the only thing that I would disagree with him wholeheartedly is people don't hate Tua. You don't know Tua. We don't know Tua from a can of paint. At the end of the day, hate is when you call Jacoby Brissett, Jabroni Brisket. You called him out of his name. Hate is when you called the offensive lineman Pepe Le Pew. That is hate.
Word.
When you call him out of your name, when you call him out of his name, and when you make disparaging comments about either his heritage or when you start making personal attacks, but they are just talking about his play on the field. They do not hate Tua.
No, I don't think that's true. I think
they had the same criticism for Tannehill. They had the same criticism for Jesse Davis, and they had the same criticism for Noah Igbenogany. They don't hate those guys either.
At
the end of the day, it's never personal. Hate is not. That's the only thing I disagree. It's not hate, bro.
I think it's naive to look at it that way because if you can clearly see something,
how the hell?
All right, hold on. Let me ask him. Shake. Hold on, both of you. Hold on.
I think it's naive to look at it that way because if you could see on the actual tape that he did something, and people look at that and deny it, there's no other explanation for that than they don't want to see it. And if they don't want to see it, they're biased in some way. And if they're biased in some ways because they have a negative emotional feeling towards that person. So when I say hate,
so let me say this.
What I mean,
hold on. Let me,
bro.
Shake, I agree with you. Hold on. Now, let me just say this. You do this. You're saying that the only reason they wouldn't say he was a marked improvement from night and day is if they hated him. But I want to understand from you.
Better.
You're saying he was
night. Acknowledge that he's better. That's
but you're saying night and day. Would you acknowledge that some people just love him, and no matter what he does, even if it's kind of similar,
there are some of those people too.
Yeah. So I'm saying.
Hold on, but I've never defended those people. But it's like everyone who talks about those people, they never talk about the people who constantly hate on him, constantly just go after him because they don't like him, have no statistics behind what they say. There's no reasoning. They don't point it out on the tape. They just say the same tired talking points over and over. Oh, he has a weak arm. He can't throw it deep, blah, 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 which all that stuff isn't even true. We've seen him do it. It's about being more consistent doing it. We've seen him. He's capable.
So let me ask you this question now. So I agree that there are some people that just hate him straight up with no statistics, no backing. I've seen them. Some of them are my friends. They just hate him, period. I agree. But wouldn't you agree that, like, we didn't see a night and day, like, crazy drastic improvements, so undeniable you can't deny? We saw some improvements, and we saw some of the same, and we saw some concern. Would you agree with that? Would you agree?
I think when it comes to him being clean in the pocket and the play is his to make, that's where you see the night and day improvement. I think where you see the similarities from last year are when he's under a lot of pressure or he's in someone's grasp and he's trying to make a play happen when there's not one really to be made. Those are what I mean. Where I
fair.
Think, but if you
so does anybody have a play? Does anybody have a play where he wasn't under duress but he made a bad decision?
Okay, so relax. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, just tell me. Does anybody have one?
The only difference, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. The only difference between Tua of last year and Tua that we have now is the athletes that he have playing with him. That's the difference.
In coaching.
Because we seen when he's under duress, instead of him having a clean pocket, instead of him throwing the ball away when there's nobody open, he still has that same trait that he has from college where he's getting pulled down, and he should have been caught for intentional grounding at least twice.
Once.
Yeah, Belichick was mad.
Once.
Well, that was my hope. That was my hope.
Hold on, wait. I said he looks very similar.
So hold on.
Wait, make the actual point. You said
please,
he
I got
only
you.
looks
Wait a
better
second,
because of the talent. So make that point. Why do you think it's only because of the talent he looks better?
Oh, I tell you now. Okay, third down, a short pass to Chase instead of taking a shot downfield. Chase breaks is a better talent. So again, he was able to break the tackles and get the first down. If it wasn't for Chase Edmonds being a better talent than that trash that's named the Patriots, that is a 3-and-out, and the drive is done, and we're punting. But instead, because Chase, dude, come on, man. I don't know exactly which play, but it was a third down. I think it was 37. How am I supposed
to respond to that then?
For the fuck's sakes, dude, let me finish.
Let him finish.
3rd and 7. It was a little wheel route. It was an out route that he put onto Chase behind the sticks, and Chase broke 2 tackles and got the first down. Then we're gonna talk about the Hail Mary of a hopeful ball that he threw, and our better athlete in Tyreek Hill took the ball away from the receiver, or that would have been an interception.
I can stop on that one.
Right, I can hold on for that one.
2.
I can
hold on.
Make a point
3. Wait. I'm not done. You asked me. You asked me to go, so I am gonna cook. Sir.
Hold on. Let Vaughn finish, and then I'm gonna add something, and then you respond. You do this.
Then there was just a boneheaded interception that was dropped by the Patriots that could have got them back into the game. Again, at the end of the day, we beat the Patriots last year. This is the problem that people have, Larry, and this is why we say we want more. Because at the end of the day, the Patriots have less talent than they had last year on defense. Would we agree? I'm pretty sure everybody will agree on that.
And offense.
We have more talent on offense than we had last year.
That's a fact.
Meanwhile, we put up less points on offense than we did last year. Our offense only got 1 touchdown. One.
You're comparing
one goddamn touchdown.
So hold on, and now
This was week 1 last year. What are you talking about?
All right, so
Vaughn, you put got 2 touchdowns.
Hold on,
and a field goal
last year.
Hold on, Vaughn. I'm gonna let you.
How many touchdowns did we get this year with all this with so much more talent? Stop.
One. All right, so hold on. I just want to add that. I just want to say that Hill pass where Hill took it away from him. Hold on. Where Hill took it away from him. I already knew that was going to be an argument point because to me, I'll be honest, hear me out. There's no right answer because it wasn't a great throw. It wasn't a great decision, but it was a great throw. It was a great decision because he's throwing it up to his playmaker and giving him a chance, and he came down with it. So how can you no matter what side you pick, you're going to be right. No matter what side you pick, you're going to be wrong. That's an interesting throw. Why is it not true? Now you go ahead and respond.
Every time someone else does that with their playmakers, it's called, he's giving his playmaker a chance to make a play. It's a 50-50 ball. That's what you're supposed to do.
We know Tua don't throw 50-50.
You trust him. That's what everyone says about every other quarterback in the league.
Okay, but you got to give me a specific example.
But I'm not so sure I would throw a 50-50 ball. I'm not so sure I would throw a 50-50 ball.
Let Mounty go. Mounty, go. What?
But
'Cause I know
just
what
the
you're
thing
gonna
is,
say.
just my personal opinion. I mean, if I was a quarterback or a coach, I'm not so sure if I want to throw a 50-50 ball to Tyreek Hill. Maybe as Ukama or Gasecki, but not to.
Right.
I know
A
he's
big body
athletic.
receiver.
I know
He's
he's
always been good
athletic.
at
He can
50-50
jump,
balls. You don't know
but
what you're talking about.
that just wouldn't be my choice. That wouldn't be my choice. I wouldn't
He's
do it again.
always been good at 50-50 balls because he's so
And,
athletic.
and we
He's
got
He
lucky.
did that
We
plenty.
got lucky.
He did that plenty with Patrick Mahomes. He did it all the time. Go watch Patrick Mahomes highlight tapes from the last 5 years, and you'll see it all
Oh
the
no,
time.
worry. I watched him I watched
I will
enough
say
Mahomes
this.
last week.
I think when
I
you're
saw
throwing a
enough Mahomes.
50-50 ball to Gesicki or a 50-50 ball to Parker, it's different than throwing a 50-50 ball to Hill where it looks like the D-back caught it. I'm still not taking a side. I still think I give it to Tua. I actually say he threw it to his playmaker, and I think it's a good throw. But people who
Because
say
that's
it's a
the
bad throw have a point. But they have a point, though. Like, it's not
No,
like
they
the
don't.
same thing as throwing it.
Because
It's
they-
not the same thing
they're
as throwing it to Randy Moss or Rob Gronkowski. I mean, it's not.
But you got to remember,
Normally don't go to jump ball
his
though.
whole career.
About either.
He's done it
but
his
Hold on.
whole
but
career.
Tyreek took it from him though.
He did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he did.
Tyreek Hill took
Yeah.
it from him, so it was
Let's
a
be
bad
honest.
throw.
Hold on. It wasn't like he threw a high ball to a 6'4" guy and gave him a chance. He did throw it where the D-back almost had it. But again, I agree. Like, he threw it to his playmaker, but they have room to say it wasn't a great throw because it wasn't the same thing as throwing it up at a high point to a tall receiver. It's not. And Bleezy, go ahead. You're so polite and you make such good food, and you've been trying to talk. Bleezy, what's up?
No, man. I'm sitting back listening to everything and I kind of agree with everybody. I think hate is a little strong word, man. Throwing that out about Tua, even though it may be true. I think that may be a little bit strong, but I think that Tua at this point is under a microscope, man. I think this fan base could possibly go crazy trying to follow his progress through the year. But hey, this is the year we do it. It's that time. That's what time it is. And I think
I mean, the fan base.
Well, let him finish. Sorry, Bleezy. Finish.
I'll finish with when I saw that press conference. I commented in whatever chat room I was in. I said he kind of looks embarrassed a little bit. I think he had gone through the film and saw the film himself, and and so that's all I got.
Thank you, Bleez. And I will say this too. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, it's going to sort itself. Shake, I'll go to you in 1 second. It's going to sort itself out. Like at the end of the day, there's going to be a game. This game wasn't it, right? We didn't need Tua to throw up 3 touchdowns this game. We didn't need it. So you can't fault him for not. Maybe that was the game plan. There's going to be a game where he's going to need to do that, and we're going to see if he does it or not. That was Tennessee last year. He didn't. There's going to be a game this year where we're going to need him. He's going to do it or he's not. We could argue all day until that happens. It's going to happen if we're a playoff contender, and we'll see if he does it or not. I hope he does. I think he can with these weapons and with this coaching staff. But if he doesn't, I'm not going to make excuses. If he doesn't, that's that. But the line is questionable. The line's questionable.
It's time to find out.
Game.
I agree.
And the
Shake,
run
go
game
ahead, Shake.
isn't
You've been waiting. You
doing
got your robe. You know, you're popping champagne. You're the co-host of the show. Go ahead, Shake. I'm just trying to balance everybody here, And I appreciate everybody being patient. You guys have been awesome.
Buddy. Get him, Shake.
Yeah.
Look, I have enough time in the beginning to talk about the panel, but I just wanted to say, check out Bleezy's channel if you want good tips on barbecue. And if you like Ole Miss,
appreciate it, bro.
Me and Bonjo are Gators, but if you like Ole Miss and you want to,
Lord,
Bleezy 38 man, he has a great channel. Just
hey,
Thank you,
Shake. Can we
Thank
talk
you,
about
thank you,
y'all
Shake.
Gators,
Talk.
please, for a minute? Because y'all out here looking miserable.
We had one lost game. Stop it.
Okay.
who's your team? Laker all day.
Miami
Who
Hurricanes.
played nobody yet?
I'm sorry we can't play the Bry University and ITT Tech every week like you guys do.
Who'd you play last week, Shake?
We played Kentucky.
Then they lost too.
You lost to Kentucky?
Top 20.
Yeah, they did.
Wait till next week. Wait till you guys lose to Texas A&M.
I'm not gonna say none because
I don't know. Texas A&M looks suspect, bro. They just lost to who they lose to?
App State.
Yeah.
When you want to play good teams, they fold like a cheap tent.
All right. And when
We'll
we
see.
win, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna talk my trash.
University of Mediocrity. Shout out to the real you, FIU.
But could I ask a question to the panel?
Yes.
Hey, Lakers all day. You know I love you.
I know.
Who was
I know you do, bro.
Real quick, who was the most pressured QB week 1?
This week.
Joe Burrow. That's what
Nope.
Maybe Mac Jones, bro.
Nope. You know who was the most pressured QB?
Was it Tua?
Patrick Mahomes.
Really? He got 5 touchdowns. What the hell?
5 touchdowns. Most pressured QB in week 1 through 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's what
good.
that okay. All right, that's what we're talking about here. Okay. All right.
Wait,
we want to blame everything else around this kid.
Patrick Mahomes. Wait,
with all
Patrick
these
Mahomes?
weapons.
Wait, he's not Patrick Mahomes.
What? Oh, we know that. We know
He's
that.
never
He's
been
nowhere
Patrick
in
Mahomes.
this
No one's ever claimed he was Patrick Mahomes. So what's your point?
All right, you do
know
this.
where
Where do you
the
put
league-
him? So where do you put him comparatively on the quarterback scale, like in the league?
Coming into the season, he was around 18, 17, 16, anywhere. I'd say anywhere between 15 and 20 is a fair place to put him. Week 1, he had a top 10 performance compared to every other quarterback in the league, and their performance is week 1, and that's without doubt.
Statistically, he did, right?
He was a top.
The only reason.
Hold on.
Larry,
But
Larry,
did he
that's what I'm talking about.
statistically?
Yes.
Okay.
Easily. And this was
The only reason he didn't throw those interceptions.
Even if he had the 1 interception, it still would have been a top 10 performance.
So wait a minute. That's PFF or that's just rating or what is that?
Not PFF. PFF is PFF. Here's my thing with PFF. They're really good with the kind of clocking how each play works out, and then they have their stats based on that. But then they weight their stats in a subjective way. So, for example, last year in the New Orleans Saints game, Ian Book got a better rating than Tua. And the fact that happened has always turned me off to their grades per player. But when you look at how they record the game and stuff, that stuff is usually pretty good. But then their subjective way to grade based off that is their own thing, and I'm not big on that stuff.
All right, that's fair enough because
By the way-
statistics too, you wait no matter what you do. Every statistic
By the
is
way,
a
Larry K.
philosophical approach. Go
Second
ahead.
most pressured quarterback, Josh Allen.
Wow.
Wow.
But we know that
Where
I
are
always
you
said,
finding these statistics? Can I see these, please?
where'd you get these, Vaughn?
Oh, you could just Google it. It's easily. Or you could go to Pro. Or you could go to Pro Reference. Or you could go to Pro Football Reference.
Oh, Pro Football Reference, who last year had very different numbers from PFF.
PFF, we know that they pay. You could pay to get your stats inflated for PFF. I don't trust PFF for nothing.
Okay, so you don't trust PFF, right?
No.
So you're not gonna. No one here is gonna reference to his PFF grade, right?
No one has yet.
I heard it before I came up here. I heard people talking about PFF grades.
No, I talked about I talked about PFF grades to reference the individuals who were citing them and saying they had some merit. But no one here referenced PFF grades in their arguments tonight.
Okay, so Pro Football Reference, and how do I find these?
Listen, old school reference. I trust Dr. Kevorkian before I trust.
What's wrong with you? What are you doing? Why are you saying?
I mean,
he's just enjoying the win week.
And
man.
if we want
to
talk about, you could go to fantasypros.com and it gives you a whole bunch of stats on quarterbacks as well. That you could get from Pro Football Reference.
Yeah,
I mean, you could get it from where.
I'm trying to find the specific stat that you're looking at.
With Pro Football Reference, it doesn't seem subjective that who's pressured because the pressure seems pretty objective, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
Because you have pressure time in the pocket. I'm looking at pressure time in the pocket.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
Jeez, I can't even stay. Oh, jeez. God damn it, I'm late for a meeting.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm 9 minutes late for this thing.
Why you got a meeting this late, bro? That's what I want to know.
Bro, I work till 10. I work with West Coast people as well.
Oh, I'll give you props for that. I'm done at 5. I'm done.
Yeah, but real quick, Tua had 2.6 seconds in the pocket, right? You had Jalen Hurts 2.3, Carson Wentz 2.5, Josh Allen 1.9, Winston 2.4, Murray 2.8. I mean, you had quarterbacks that had less time in the pocket that had a better game than him.
I'm interested too, though. How do they do that?
And these are the pressure times.
But if Allen runs out of the pocket, do they cut it off right there?
Exactly.
I'm not saying I'm not negating. I'm just curious because that might be a problem. Because he does.
No, then
that.
it goes down as a hurry.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so hurry is different from pressure. That's what you're saying.
No, it's all under pressures. It all goes under pressure.
No, but pressure is the most. But I'm saying pressure is the most broad, right?
Yeah.
Like pressure doesn't have to technically impact the play at all, correct?
A pressure impacts the play.
No,
to a degree.
But like a hurry is really the impact. If you're hurrying up the quarterback, that's where the impact comes in. Pressure doesn't really matter if you're not hurrying the quarterback. Correct?
I guess if you want to see it that way, yeah.
Okay, so then hurries, I think, would be more accurate for what's going on.
So
right?
Tua had 8 hurries. Okay,
all right,
so
let's talk about that.
Tua had 8 hurries.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes had 24.
Wow.
Yeah, but what are the rates per pass?
What did Allen have?
What are the pass rates?
His what?
Josh Allen.
That's when they're passing, right? There's no run plays in that.
Here's the funny thing is, Josh Allen had 0 hurries.
That isn't, dude. But
he got blitzed. But he was blitzed 7 times.
But they picked. So he had 0 hurries though. But Mahomes had 20 something.
Herbert
had 8. It's crazy.
Herbert had 7 hurries, 5 blitz. I gotta go, guys.
Later, Ron.
Thanks, Joe, for stopping by, my brother.
Yo, what was what kind of game did Herbert have? I didn't pay attention to them.
By the way,
Herbert had a game. I saw. He had a good touchdown.
How many touchdowns?
3.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
So that's interesting. I mean, it is.
This
so
is the other thing. Herbert is
it shows Allen has a lot of yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand why it's hard for people to admit that. He's clearly a better quarterback. Now, you can make the Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning argument where let's see how their careers play off and maybe Tua ends up being a more successful quarterback. Now, that's a possibility. Where how Eli Manning was more successful than Phillip Rivers, even though Phillip Rivers was a way better actual
Marino, dude, and a lot of guys. Yeah, I get it.
Right. So we can see that. But when it comes to on the field, of course Herbert's better. I have people who don't. I like Herbert. I like watching Herbert. He's a fun guy to watch. I don't know why people don't like him just because he was drafted the same time as
right.
He's an amazing quarterback.
Right.
He's awesome. He's so much fun.
Right.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Manolo who's in the chat. He wanted to know what Tua's QBR. His QBR was 78, according to ESPN. I'm looking at it right now. It's 72.8
top 5 QBR,
78.2 and 104.4 rating.
So I think he was top 5 QBR, top 10 passer rating.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, so
I really
look,
think he had a good game. I really do.
I don't think he had a bad game. I sure as hell don't think he had a bad game.
I think
he had a good game.
The reason we're talking about it is because our fan base scrutinizes him more than any fan base does to their quarterback. I really believe that. I don't think
that.
I think if any other quarterback had the game he had, their fan base would be perfectly happy with it. Say the same thing I said, which is it was a good game. There's room for improvement. Obviously, he needs to get better at some things, but it's very encouraging as a week 1 start. That's what I think the correct take is, and I think any other fan base would look at their quarterback that way, unless they have some weird relationship with him already because of certain things like certain teams do, But, a typical third-year quarterback on a typical team, I think that's how most people would look at it.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree that I said Tua had a good performance. I think he had a good performance. I think where people are scared is not that it was this brain fart or this problem here, but overall good. I think they see it's a good performance with some issues, and they just think that was typical of the last few years, where it was a good performance with some issues, and when those issues count more in games where they're pressuring him more, he's going to fail. But that's all speculative. We can't make that call until he actually does or doesn't do it. So it's all kind of moot. I think there's no denying he had a pretty good game. Like statistically, where he placed the ball, he did enough to win. You can't say he had a bad game because he didn't. He had a good game. He won.
And also, let's not forget, this is his third system in 3 years, in his first 3 years, which is not an easy thing for any quarterback to do, no matter who you are. Even Tom Brady had a hard time in the beginning of the season in Tampa Bay, his first year there. He said it himself.
I get that, but I'm done with that, though. That I'm done with. Like I don't care about the system.
That's context.
Because no, it's not. Because there's plenty of other quarterbacks that are going through the same type of growing pains with different change up in staff and do better.
Who? But from what I understand. But from what
I do think, I will say this. I'll make a public record. I think you're a smart guy. I think you're objective. You do this, but I do think you have some kind of thing you do love Tua. Like you. If you're talking about the haters, you're like a lover. Like you really are.
Wait, how? What have I said that's wrong?
Because you get. Well, you said he was a night and day performance, which I don't think was borne out.
Wait,
I don't think it was a night and day performance.
When I explained the nuance, did you not agree with me afterwards?
I agree with the nuance, yes, but I'm just saying your first reaction is that your first reaction is people don't like him, hate him, and even your first reaction just now was like you get very animated sometimes. I'm not trying to take away from your.
I really don't like bad arguments. They really piss me off. Like I can't stand it. I can't stand hearing bad arguments. And when it comes to Tua, there's a lot of bad arguments, like a lot. So I don't think it's him specifically. I get the same way about other players too.
All right, fair enough.
Well, as far as Tua having a third offense, from my understanding, Mike McDaniel was somewhat trying to fuse his offense to where the offense that he already knows, like running some of the stuff that he ran in college with Steve Sarkisian.
Who said that? Who said that?
I don't think that's accurate.
Well,
no. Okay.
Weren't
Mounty, I got it. Steve Sarkisian is in that same vein of offense, that Shanahan style. I see what you're saying.
Right.
Steve Sarkisian was already like that, though. He's not fusing it. It comes from the same place. Their two offenses.
Okay. But are we running that heavy RPO type offense? Didn't look like we were. What are we running?
No. We're running.
Yeah, so I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we're giving him what he's used to. I think we're giving him something new that caters to his
He's talking about from college, his college days.
Okay. I don't think he's running like last year. The complaint was, we got to run this RPO for him, and we're not doing that. We're running.
I thought that was a bad idea.
And I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good in it. Yeah, and it's not going to survive. Idea. Yeah, I agree with you.
You know why? Because it was like you get too cute with it. You try too much of it, and it's like just let him be a quarterback. You really screwed up a lot for him because he could have spent a lot of time learning other things. You know, but he's really good at that. You just can't base your entire offense on it. It's not going to work.
Right. No, I agree. And Manolo's in this chat just going off. And Manolo, listen, man.
Hey, Von Joe, everyone in the NFL runs RPOs. Every single team. It's not like a Dolphin only thing. Everyone in the NFL runs RPOs. They're typical plays. It's just a matter of how much of your offense is RPO based.
Right. And by the way, like Manolo, I know the difference between subjective and objective. I mean, keep up. Like I'm not trying to be a jerk, but Jesus, thanks for listening to the channel and commenting. But come on, man, I know the difference between the two. You might not agree with me, but I know the definition of words, sir. And if I don't, I'll admit it. That's one thing you can count on with me. I'm not gonna.
Can I say one last thing?
I'm not gonna.
Intangible. People, I keep seeing people talk about intangibles, and they're saying it wrong. Intangibles are literally not measurable. So please don't say intangible and then say something like arm strength. That doesn't make sense. Please don't say intangible and say something like height. That doesn't make sense. Intangibles are non-measurables. Things like confidence, things like leadership, things like swag, that can be considered. Clutch, that's an intangible. So please stop saying intangible if you're going to then go on and say he's a small quarterback with a small arm. That's not an intangible trait. Okay, that's it. I heard that so much this last couple of days. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's right. It's definitely not. And that's why I was wondering why, Peyton said that, Tua's intangibles far outweigh Herbert's. I was like, what did Herbert ever do, like, off the field emotionally or as a character issue that you don't like? Like, I didn't know.
Coming out of college, he had that concern. I think maybe that's what he referenced. Coming out of college, he was like he was looked at as a shy guy, didn't talk a lot, not a big leader type. Obviously, people change as they mature, but that might be what he was referencing.
That makes sense. All right, so guys, this was a great spirited panel, which I appreciate and I actually really enjoyed. No one on here, quite frankly, despite what some of you might think of each other, but you guys are pretty good to each other. Nobody
I don't
on
dislike
here
anyone on here.
Yeah,
I just want to make that clear. I like everyone here.
I have much respect for you do this, man.
I love everyone here.
I say hi to him all the time on Stephen D in the mornings, bro.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, we're all good.
Personal.
Man.
It is not personal. Yeah. Totally argument based. Never personal with me. If I come after your arguments, it's not because I don't like you personally.
Yeah, and we get that. That's why you're a great. You're a regular part of the panel, bro. So we appreciate it. I actually really appreciate you here and your perspective. It makes the show much better. But I want to just go in order, man. I'll give everybody a final word, and then we're going to close out for tonight. Like I said, guys, I'm working on a lot of new content. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button if you haven't done it already, smash the super thanks, whatever you can do to help the channel out. It's really appreciated. But I'm doing new videos, different things. I'm going to cut up parts of this and put it out. We're learning as we go. But as you know, before we close the night out, we'll be back next Wednesday, and I'll be back Sunday, and maybe before then. I want to just give everybody a final word on thoughts this week, last week, on the conversation at hand. Mounty, I'm going to go you first, and I'm going to go underneath and then up. So I'll call names out. Mounty first. Go ahead.
Hey, as much I thought Sunday's game was solid for Tua. I mean, he's dealing with a new system, lineman, the whole thing. But he does concern me a little bit. For one, because of some of his decision making. One being getting rid of the ball timely, meaning don't take unnecessary punishment. And he's good for holding on to so something happens. And I would hate to see the kid get hurt. So
I
that's my
agree.
thing.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And we will see you hopefully next week, bro. Always a great addition. Always great to talk to you, my brother. Let's go Fins
All right.
this Sunday. Later, bro. All right. You do this. Your final words and thoughts, my brother.
All right. Well, I just want to say I think it was a good win. I think it was a really encouraging one. It was a good start. There's obviously stuff to clean up, but if you watch the film, if they really can clean up those little things and get it going, we have a really dangerous offense, guys. And if paired with this defense, if it keeps up like it played week 1, hopefully the Pats just weren't an awful offense, and that was representative of what we're going to see going forward. We can have a super dangerous team. I'm looking forward to the Ravens game. I hope it's similar to last year. I know they're home. I know they have some players back. But I think that our coaching staff can predict what they're going to do probably based on what they're worried about us doing. I hope they look towards that, and we just crush them, honestly. Ravens fans are the worst. I hate Ravens
I would
fans.
love crushing them, bro. I would love it.
I just want to make a comment about things I've seen, especially over the last few days, and obviously I've probably seen it for a long time, especially when it comes to the Tua conversation, but you really can apply it to all conversations when it comes to the Dolphins. But I'll use the Tua one as an example just because it's most prominent right now. Look, they're not going to make a decision on him until the end of the year. So whether you like it or not, just be patient because we're going to see it every week. We're going to see, and they're going to take every week this season, and they're going to use that to make their decision. So let's encourage him. I think that's the best way to go about it. Let's hope. I mean, how awesome would it be if we drafted a franchise elite quarterback? Let's hope he turns into that. I feel like that's what everyone should want. Like, that's like part of the thing that's so frustrating for me sometimes. It's like I feel like people talk about it like they don't want it to happen. I think it's totally fair to say you don't think he's going to turn into that. I think that's a fair argument to make. I think I disagree with it, but at least I think it's a fair point. And try to stick to that. There's a difference between saying something like you don't think he'll be that thing and saying he can't be that thing. Those are two different things. So, like, let's just, when we're having these conversations, it doesn't have to be so definitive. Like, you can give your perspective, you can give your reasoning, and just understand that this year we're with him, and the best thing for us is for him to work out. So I hope everyone is at least encouraging and rooting for him. I would hate to think that people were rooting against him and the Dolphins that call themselves fans, but I'm super excited for the season. I really think it's going to be a good one. Hopefully we can keep talking about it up here on Larry's channel, which he lets us come up so gracefully. So thanks,
yes,
Larry.
Yes, sir. And we will, my brother. And thank you for joining us once again, man. I look forward to talking to you very soon, bro.
You too.
Good night,
Thanks,
Reno.
guys.
Good night, Holmes. All right, Lakers. Bro, thank you, by the way, for the chat and for drawing our attention to the press conference. And thank you for the commentary, my brother. It's good to hear from you. I haven't off-season, man. I kind of take off. I haven't seen you, so I was glad to just have you back. It's going to be a fun season with you, my brother. What's your final thoughts, man?
Man, no problem about the about the money is cool, but I just want us to win. And you know what I'm saying? If Tua plays good, he plays good. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't really do nothing about it. We're just fans. You feel me? It's just an eye test. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, they have to look at the film to see what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really go by film. They just go by what other people say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
So that's why people don't understand, because like, you know what I'm saying, when I was watching the game, I was like, you know what I'm saying, he did good, he did okay. But then when I saw TD's film breakdown, that's when I was like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, he's not really, I gave him a C, but then I gave him a C and minus when I saw the TD film breakdown, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's what people has to, you know, they have to look at the film and stop trying to look at just the whole game. They have to look at the film too. But, you know, I just want us to win. You know what I'm saying? If we win, we win. If we don't, it's going to be a more ruckus. But I want each and every player to have a good game. Our defense is lights out. We just have to stay on track. and Tua has to play, play good and play smart and don't think too much. You know what I'm saying? He just can't be thinking that much. He has to just play ball. You know what I'm saying? Just play like you're playing in the backyard with your friends or whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's all
Yo,
you got to do.
totally agree. Totally agree. Just let loose. I agree. I want
Yeah.
to see him let loose more.
Yeah.
I agree.
But after this, you probably need to go watch that Justin Herbert tape, man. Like, I'm serious.
I don't know if
bro.
I want to.
I know you don't want to, but you're gonna be wow. You're gonna be shocked. Man. It's really good.
I believe it. But yo, Lakers, thank you so much, bro, for the contributions and for your more so your intellectual contributions. I hope we see you back. We're here every Wednesday at 7, man. I hope we see you and you're a regular contributor because it really helps the show and it's all Fury fam all day, man. We really
and Shake, I got a question. And let's go Hurricanes, by the way.
What's going on?
Hey Larry, what do you think about the Hurricanes though? Before I leave.
Bro, I think the Hurricanes can make some noise in the ACC, man. The ACC has some teams that really like. I'm a Rutgers dude. Big Ten. We beat Boston College. Boston College has not looked great. VTech beat them again last week. I think Miami, bro, and that old school Miami Hurricanes thing, man. I always liked them in the Big East. They were a formidable team. They're a good team. The ACC has an opening. I could see the Hurricanes making some noise. And I like when the Hurricanes make noise, to be honest with you, too. And I'm not trying to knock Shake or anybody. I'm not mad at the Gators, but I'm not a big SEC cat. So if the ACC does something good, I'm not going to hate. But that's just me, man. I'm a Big Ten dude on a lowly bottom half Big Ten football team, upper half basketball team. But I don't want to get into all that. But that's all I'm saying.
Cool.
That's all I'm saying.
It's all right, man. Well, y'all have a good one.
You too, brother. Talk to you soon.
You too.
Greg, final thoughts, my brother.
Final thoughts. Let's beat Baltimore. I wish I could go to the game, but unfortunately I can't this weekend. But the one thing I want to see, hopefully Noah plays to get our answer, but I doubt he will. I would love to see more of Channing Tindall. When we drafted him, everyone was saying this is the Josh Allen QB spy guy. We play Josh Allen next week. That loser, I hate him so much. I want to beat him. Let's try him again this week against Lamar. I mean, I'm scared of the Ravens because of Lamar.
Me too.
Because he's got that throwing ability now. He did it last week against the Jets. Who says he can't do it again this week?
Yeah.
But the Ravens got a good D. We just got to, go to the drawing board and figure out a way to beat them. Go 2-0.
I'm with you, my brother. So we will reconnect after this game, and let's see how we feel, bro. And it's good. Always great to have you on, man. The show's been a success because of you and Shake and the rest of the panel, Mountie, everybody who do this, everybody who comes on, and it's Fury fam all day, man. So we'll be talking about it no matter what happens, Greg. So have a good night, my bro, and I can't wait to talk to you. Hopefully we're popping champagne again, but we'll see.
Have a good one.
Later, bro. The man, the myth, the legend, the analogy king, the Hugh Hefner robe wearing, champagne popping, funny anecdotes, optimistic prime, Shake. Man, what's your final thoughts, man? And what are you looking for this week?
First of all, let me thank you for the honor and the privilege to be a part of this ride. It is a humbling experience, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really do.
I appreciate you, bro.
Trust me, I'm here once a week. I have to respect guys like TD, guys like Miami Sports Music, Stephen D, guys who do this on a regular basis. This is fucking hard doing this once a week. I can imagine the work they put in. But no, I appreciate you, Larry. Real talk. Also, you gave me the task on booking guests. And trust me, I have a few good lineup. I'm going to DM you. It's a surprise for you guys, but trust me, it's going to be worth the surprise. I got a few names lined up. I'm going to DM you later on with
perfect.
I'm in talks with a few people.
Awesome.
But anyway, I saved this last little bit of champagne before I go out, man. Fins up and fuck you.
I love it. Shake's in rare form tonight, and I love it. I love Shake in rare form. But listen, guys, we're going to have guests on. We're going to do all those things. It's going to be good for the show for everybody. I want to thank everybody involved in Fury Fam for being on the show tonight. This channel, again, is growing. We made partner just recently. Any help you can give, any super thanks that you can give, any donations you can give, anytime you just you're in a chat and you want to throw down a super chat to get highlighted, man, I will highlight you. I really appreciate it because this panel gives people a place to speak, and you see I try to conduct the panels in a way that styles maybe a little bit different than some of the other panels, and I take pride in that. And I take pride in what we're doing on this channel. You know what you're getting content-wise in this channel, and it's not any better or any worse than the other channel. This is just a different content perspective that you're getting here. If you like the content, if you like the conversations we have here, if you like the vibe that we're putting out, please smash that subscribe button right below you. It takes 2 seconds. It does a lot for the channel. Please smash that like button. It helps our algorithm get up. It helps people find the channel. Not enough people know about this channel yet, and that's part of the problem. But those who know about it have really engaged and loved it. This is Fury Fan. We're a family. We all talk. We all know each other. This is our space on Wednesday nights. And if you haven't checked out my videos on Sunday nights and previews and other videos I have, please go check them out. And I'm going to be putting videos out regularly all season. I do that. And I'm not one of those road warriors like some of these other cats that are doing it every day. I just have too much going on. But I do put out as much content as I can. And the more you guys help me out by donating, subscribing, liking, sharing, the more content I can do, because the more it makes that kind of make sense for me financially and otherwise. So I respect and appreciate all of that. Everybody who came on the panel tonight, thank you so much. Let's go Fins, man. Fins up. My prediction at the earlier in the season was that we would lose this game. This is a road game. This is not an easy game by any stretch. I think the Ravens are going to be out for revenge. It's at home. But we'll see. If we're really a contender the way we think we are, and we had their number last year, we should be able to contend with them and be able to play them straight up this year. So let's all root for a win. Let's hope we're back here Wednesday discussing a win. It's so much better to argue about Tua and everything else when you won versus arguing about all that stuff when you lose. So let's hope we win, and let's hope that's what we do. Until then, guys, Fins up, everybody else down. Larry K, out.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all